Now, from the Action 4 studios, Sports Director Clay Williams and Joe Bowling bring you the best in Valley High School football from the week past and for the week ahead. Highlights, analysis, and predictions from all across the Valley. It's time for Sunday Sports Extra.
And it's time for the halfway point of the season to be over, I should say. Action 4 Sports Director Clay Williams here with Action 4 Sports reporter Joe Bowling, and from the Monitor covering the 6A teams, it's Greg Luca. Thanks for joining us this week, Greg.
Thanks for having me.
It is fantastic that we are this far in the season, and yet we are still talking about surprise teams, and we're talking about one of them in San Benito. Let's slip the dogs of war. Here they come. San Benito was up 14-7 until late in this game, and that is when Los Fresnos ties it up with the Eli Cruz 1-yard touchdown. But back comes San Benito. How about Christian Sierra? The beautiful pass and the even better catch by Victor Gaitan. That sets up the Alejandro Lugo field goal, and that would be the difference in the game as San Benito's defense comes up huge in the next round, and Los Fresnos can't get anything to go. Here it is, 4th down, the turnover, and that's it. San Benito wins it 17-14. They are now 3-2, 2-0, and the Hounds are headed into the 85th Battle of the Arroyo.
We really needed this win to go into the Battle of the Arroyo to come in 2-0, and we're going to lead this team, and we're going to come out and get a big win. I feel good, man. We all feel good. We're ready for the Cardinals. We're ready for that battle, and we're going to come out. It's going to come out to a dogfight, and we're the only dogs out there, so we're going to make it come out to our side.
I don't have to say anything. They're from the town. They're from San Benito, so words for that game don't mean anything. And it's just going to be coming to work and getting it done and pushing through.
Didn't take them long to start talking about the Battle of the Arroyo, did it? So now we know a little something about these San Benito Greyhounds, don't we, Joe? We were wondering about them, but to be able to hold a Los Fresnos team to only 14 points is pretty impressive.
They have taken a big step forward. We didn't put them in this position. I didn't preseason. I know you didn't either in our show, but here they are, sitting 2-0. It's not a fluke. They're getting better and better, and it's going to be a good game. Yeah,
I mean, Los Fresnos had some penalty issues. San Benito took advantage of them. They've got the running game going. Gabriel Vasquez is a great running back, as well as what Christian Sierra does. It looks like things are coming together at the right time for the San Benito team, and Dan Gomez's first year as head coach.
Yeah, I saw San Benito play earlier this year against West Lacois, and even though they got blown out, I really liked what I saw from that team, especially on offense. You mentioned Vasquez, the running back. Really big play threat, and I thought he had a lot of talent, and he can get some things done for them this year.
And San Benito basically playing without Vasquez in the game against Los Fresnos didn't do a whole lot. But now, so San Benito, with only 2 losses against McAllen Memorial and Weslaco East, 2 of the better teams in the Valley, will now take on Harlingen, of course, the 85th Battle of the Arroyo coming up. What Harlingen was able to do this past week was get healthy. Yeah, get real healthy against Brownsville Hanna. They had Bowie Davis back at quarterback. Leo Tienda takes in the touchdown there. The defense maybe still needs some work. Watch Jaime Gonzalez do the little stutter step and take it in for Hanna. But the Cardinals' running game looking good as well. Frito Gonzalez taking it in on this one. We mentioned Bowie Davis is healthy. Jesse Castro is healthy as well. He's been cleared for the game with San Benito. So now, with Harlingen healthy, with San Benito peaking, Joe, the chips are in place for a pretty good Battle of the Arroyo.
Yeah, on paper, a lot of times it's not. It's lopsided to a big degree, but in this case, it looks like they're both right there. What I like about Harlingen is that with the quarterback's situation, guys getting hurt, they were able to really hone in on that running game, which has been a bad sore spot for the last couple of years, but this time they had to develop it, and so with that developed, it looks good. I didn't like they gave up that many points to Hanna. What's up with that defense? I don't know, but they're going against a Greyhound team. They don't score many points anyway. Scored 17 against Los Fresnos, so yeah. Back and forth, we could go all day. This looks like it could be a good Battle of the Arroyo.
Well, let's go ahead and make our picks for the 85th edition of this great rivalry. Greg, who have you got winning between Harlingen at San Benito?
I got Harlingen. I think people got down on them after week 1 with the buy-in and the week 2 big loss against the San Antonio team, but they've shown some things since then. I think I like Harlingen.
How about you, Joe?
You talked about it. San Benito's only losses against good teams. Harlingen's a good team. Harlingen's going to win again.
All right, so there's 2 for Harlingen. Let's make it 3 in a row. Cardinals peaking at the right time, and I think they've just got a little bit more talent than San Benito does. It'll be a fantastic game. I think it'll be a close game, but I've got Harlingen winning that one. Meanwhile, last night's game, it was in Brownsville at Sam's Stadium, and it was Brownsville-Rivera, who many thought was the best winless team in the Valley, taking on Brownsville Veterans in what could have been a battle for Brownsville football supremacy, at least on the 6A level. Well, it turned out to be pretty much of a romp. Early on, at least, the Chargers, Marky Castillo takes in for 6. That quarterback getting it done. The Raiders still have a great quarterback in Danny Elizondo. Airs it out 62 yards to Sammy Uribe. He hooked up with Edward Rubio later in the game as well. But this one's all about the Chargers' run game. 6 touchdowns on the ground as they win it 42-24. So now we take a look at 32 6A standings, and we see that Veterans, San Benito, and Harlingen all up there at 2-0. South and Los Fresnos at 1-1, and then Lopez, Hanna, and Rivera at 0-2. Greg, what Brownsville Veterans is able to do on the ground is even more astounding when you think that their #1 running back, Omar Rodriguez, out for the season after the first game.
Yeah, and I'm really impressed with what they did against Rivera. I know a lot of people see 0-5 and they say, you know, whatever, another win for Brownsville Veterans, but that Rivera team at 0-5 is still very legitimate, and they've lost to good teams, and I think they've looked pretty good doing it. So that's a big win for me if I'm Brownsville Veterans.
And Brownsville Veterans still young, Joe.
Very young, and like you said, developing new players because of injuries. But what they did with the offense, I mean, Rivera's defense, we talked about it all year, how good they are. This is 42 points, folks. That's not just a squeak by, win the ball game with a special teams play. It was all offense all day. And you knew what they were doing. You could hear it. I was over Tom Chavez. Hey, we know what they're doing. Just run the plays, do the plays. And they tried. Veterans still scored that many points against a good defense.
So remember, the winner of Harlingen-San Benito still has to face a Veterans team down the line. We are coming right back on Sunday Sports Extra. Going to talk a little bit about those wild and woolly Wildcats and their wild and woolly comeback against PSJA Memorial. And we'll talk about the #1 team in the PSJA ISD. They are back in black and back in silver. PSJ North riding high. It's all next.